Today is Friday, September 26, 2025. I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Wilderness Wanderings, an Advoda edition on rest. Our text comes from Hebrews 4. Let us, therefore, make every effort to enter that rest, so that no one will perish by following their example of disobedience. Hebrews 4, verse 11. Genesis 2 opens with the seventh day, where God rests, but not because he was tired. Instead, we get a picture of God finishing creation with a Sabbath that never ends. Sabbath represents a flourishing creation. This is illustrated in Israel's year of Jubilee, in which slaves were freed, debts were forgiven, and the land was restored to those God had gifted it to, a nation created to flourish in the lavish abundance of their God. But sin interfered in the beginning, continued to interfere throughout Israel's history, and still stains our lives today. Sin destroys shalom. It brings death where life was intended. Hebrews tells us that God is still at work undoing the evil that is leeching health from us. Jesus pursued this dimension of the Sabbath in his miracles. In Mark 1, verse 21, he frees a man from an evil spirit and gives renewed vigor to the limbs of a paralytic in 2 verse 27. Many of his miracles were performed on the Sabbath, such as the one for a woman who had been crippled by a spirit for 18 years. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. Luke 10, 11-13. These are signs that the kingdom of God was here. The shalom of God was being brought back to the earth. The curse of sin was being undone. Jesus' resurrection from the dead marked his victory over evil. The curse was undone. His kingdom was unstoppable. That is why Christians gather for worship on Sundays. We remind each other that Christ is risen, and we celebrate the coming end of evil. Heidelberg Catechism gives a slight nod to this matter when it says that part of our Sabbath keeping is to bring Christian offerings for the poor. Answer 103. That is why offerings are taken up during worship services. The Apostle Paul got this started. See Acts 24, verse 17, and 1 Corinthians 16, 1-2. Churches are rightly involved in alleviating hunger and rebuilding where infrastructure has been destroyed. Historically, Christians began hospitals. This was all understood as following in the footsteps of Jesus working against evil. Sometimes I hear Christians tell me that Sundays are family days. That is well and good, but it is not enough. Sundays remind us that Jesus died to end the curse and evil. We are called to be his hands and feet. As you prepare for this weekend, how will you rest? And how will you help others to enter into God's rest? Go with this blessing. Go to Jesus, and he will give you rest. May the presence of God go with you and give you rest.